Everyone is taking notice because the Toronto Raptors had a ton of guys that were disrespected heading into this season, and no one expected to take the major leaps that they have. And it wasn't just the star players, but a lot of players up and down this Toronto Raptors roster is finally getting the credit they deserve. So we'll discuss that, including a wild Gary Trent Jr. update because he left the Toronto Raptors to have a bigger opportunity to bet on himself with the Milwaukee Bucks, get into a starting position, and have that role. And he sacrificed a ton of money. And things we broke down a few days ago are bad right now for Gary Trent Jr., but they got significantly worse yesterday. So lots of stuff to break down in this video. But before we do, folks, again, we are so close to 36,000 subscribers, and still over 67% of our viewers haven't hit the subscribe button just yet. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on with this Toronto Raptors team, everything that's happening around this Raptors squad, make sure you guys hit that sub button. I appreciate all the support we've been getting as of late. But let's dive into the news. Let's dive into the first topic of discussion. First thing we're taking a look at is a wild Gary Trent Jr. development, because frankly, this is just insane. Now, we broke it down on a couple days ago about how the Toronto Raptors ended up falling into the right decision by Gary Trent Jr. not coming back to the team. The Raptors offered him like a $15 million per year contract, and Gary Trent Jr. wanted $25 million. Obviously, that was something that just couldn't happen, that couldn't go down, because that is lucrative money for even the strong Gary Trent Jr. we were looking at a couple seasons ago, but and then he kind of was on a downward spiral. Well, things are not working out that well with the Milwaukee Bucks, but they got their first win yesterday, and it's coming in unfortunate circumstances for Gary Trent Jr. As news came out that the Milwaukee Bucks are expected to insert Andre Jackson Jr. into their starting lineup in place of Gary Trent Jr. for the game against the Utah Jazz. Now, the Utah Jazz are a horrible team, a horrible squad. The Bucks have had one of the worst records in the entire NBA, so they're trying to make changes just to beat the Utah Jazz. And frankly, it didn't end up the way Gary Trent Jr. liked. Because again, sometimes players get benched and moved to the bench and they get some roles. That happened to Gary Trent Jr. for a stretch last season, right? He was put to the bench and then was asked to do some stuff, but his minutes were cut in this game, and he went there to get more opportunity, to get more of a run out there for the squad, but had 8 minutes in last night's game, 1 of 2 shooting from the field, and was a minus 14 in regards to the plus minus out there. 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls. Just a really poor game for Gary Trent Jr. And we've seen it, right? Like, there have been times over the course of Gary Trent Jr.'s career where he's been put in situations where he's having to come off the bench. He's having to do different things. And, it's up and down with him. It's up and down. And I'm just hopeful because, again, regardless he left, regardless of whatever, regardless he turned down a ton of money from us, I'm still a big fan of Gary Trent Jr. And we know that there's a lot of ups and downs, but I just hope he gets the opportunity beyond 8 minutes per night for the Milwaukee Bucks to really show what he can do. I mean, the guy was shooting 50% from the three-point line just last January, right? Like, for that month. So he hasn't been able to knock down spot-up shots over the course of the season. I mean, we take a look at his stats, right? Gary Trent Jr. this season averaging 7 points per game, 1.4 rebounds, and under 30% from the three-point line. He's shooting 25% on corner threes. Just a complete fall off in regards to his statistics, in terms of his numbers, in terms of everything right now. And again, I'll break it down later in this video, but you got guys out there at the wing position the Raptors have, had a lot more success with than Gary Trent Jr. certainly had over the course of the season. But again, a lot of people are bagging on him across the NBA, across Milwaukee Bucks fandom, all those different places. I just want to wish my best for Gary Trent Jr. and tell Doc Rivers, give this man a chance, put him in better spots, and just hope he starts making some shots. Because frankly, we know he's had a track record of it. I'm hoping he's able to revive his NBA career, because it's looking like a rough decision to go down to Milwaukee, but the Raptors at least didn't have to pay $25 million for the wing. So lots of stuff happening there, but let's dive into what everyone is taking notice on, what everyone's discussing, what everyone's talking about here now amongst Raptors fans, and now the NBA is starting to turn their heads a little bit, the people out there around the league in regards to young players. And if you haven't been, your ear hasn't been close to the ground in terms of NBA Twitter, NBA Reddit, there's been a lot of discourse, a lot of discussion about especially Gradey Dick, because again, he's been phenomenal, right? I highlighted his stats a little bit there, at the start, but Gradey Dick, 20 points per game this season, 3 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 35% from the three-point line, 27% on corner three. So he's doing all this, even with this three-point shooting going down. He has just taken massive leaps forward in regards to his finishing around the basket, his finishing at the net, his floater game, his mid-range game, all of it. And then we know his bread and butter is three-point shooting. And frankly, he's not even, he's having a bit of a cold season to start off this year from out those different areas. So it's been a phenomenal performance, Gradey Dick, and RJ Barrett also has been phenomenal, right? Like 26 points per game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. People are talking about how him, Nikola Jokic, and I believe one other guy are the only players to average over 25 points and 7 assists over the course of the season. Shooting 36% himself from behind the 3-point line and 60% on corner threes. Like, he's improved the jump shot, he's improved all aspects of his game. He's looking stronger, and these two guys have been the talk of the town for the Raptors, and frankly, they've been getting some notice, some credibility across the NBA. So that's a huge positive there. But it's not just those guys that have been playing well, right? Because again, there's a few guys on this list that I want to highlight, I want to discuss, but it's coming in a formal, quantifiable, numeric sort of credibility increase as the NBA 2K rankings. They have also boosted for these guys. RJ Barrett went from an 81 to an 84. Gradey Dick went from a 76 to an 82, which is a massive jump. You have Ochai Agbaji, who we've discussed, jumped from 73 to 76. Davion Mitchell, 72 coming into this, which is crazy, up to 76. Chris Boucher has jumped 1 point. Jonathan Mobo went from a 69 to a 73. Jamison Bell, 68 to 70. And Jamal Shed from 69 to 70. So again, I still think some of those rooks are a little bit low, but that is what it is. But the top guys are obviously getting their credibility, their rankings increase, but also the role players for this Raptor squad. I mean, Davion Mitchell has had a really, really strong season, obviously in absence of Immanuel Quickley, but let's put up solid points per game. The 3-point percentage can go up. He hasn't made a corner three. I don't know how many he's taken, but the 6 assists per night has been very, very solid. He plays elite on-ball defense and has really, again, he's not probably your ideal starting point guard, but has shown that he can be a capable, solid, effective guy to fill in for an injured starting Immanuel Quickley, which is great to see. And his playmaking has been on another level, and proving that, hey, if he's coming off the bench for the squad, he's going to have a serious impact. And another guy, Ochai Agbaji, who's getting the praise because 13 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 61% of corner threes, 42% overall from behind the 3-point line. That is all some positive numbers. Those are all some positive increases. And it's nice to see the rooks, nice to see those the rooks come out here and get some boosts as well. Again, not crazy numbers for the old rookies, Mobo, Jamison Bell, Jamal Shed, but definitely getting some boosts, right? And again, it's tough to increase everyone once the team is still 2-6, 2-7 here now at this point. But it's nice to know that the development is here. It's not just Raptors fans kind of taking notice of it, because we're all inherently biased on, especially our young guys, and the record's bad and stuff, but the NBA is taking notice. And shout out to Darko Rajaković, man, because again, this has been the most crucial factor, the most important part of the season, is making sure our team develops well. The young guys on this roster, whether they're part of our future, whether they're part of our, current core, and then we trade for other pieces and stuff, having internal development is going to be crucial when you're in a rebuilding situation. And Darko Rajaković has done a phenomenal job, not just with the crazy success stories, with RJ Barrett's, Gradey Dick's, but this entire roster alike. So lots of positive stuff to really break down, and it's nice to see the NBA taking some notice on this. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. You guys have the best thing as far as subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.